Golly, this thing is lightning fast now. That's crazy. Sweet. Hey, Beck. So you can go back to watching David. I'm just doing a test stream real fast to make sure as a matter of fact, the weird thing is the antenna broke off of my booster. And so I went over to the place where I got my router that runs in my truck, the dual chip router, and the guy said, hey man, why don't you try this out? So I hooked it up, and so far so good. So I had a couple of things wrong hooked up before, and so this seems to be working really well. Oh, okay, awesome, thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna sit here and stream this pretty sunset. If you want to stay on long enough to do that, zoom in a little bit. And anyway, so yeah, so got an omnidirectional antenna. Still got to repair the other one because the antenna, it's a weird, I think there's only I'm not sure how many decibels that it does, but I thought rather than mess with everything else, just take and do the settings that he told me to do on this deal, and then go and get the other one on payday whenever I can. So they're not that expensive, $37 I think, or something like that. But it goes to the pep waiver, or to the booster that I have in here, cell booster. So anyway, and that way it'll have two different features. So the router is doing one thing, and the booster is boosting the signal like it's supposed to, and not having to go through and do a whole bunch of stuff. I've been watching over here on the coder that I use to stream with, and I am not seeing any drop frames. And before even setting here where I'm at, where it has relatively good cell service, I will drop some frames. And so I've got this thing turned down to 15 frames per second. I might be able to go up to 30 now. Depends on, you know, what happens. But anyway, definitely worth a shot. Would slow the lag time down a little bit, but then the clarity might be an issue as well. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. But thank you. So just to FYI, that I'm going to be doing some different stuff with DeepBot. Anytime that I have that location stuff enabled, and there are watches or warnings that will be advised, and it's for this area, so Oklahoma, I'll be able to take. Yeah, hold on one second, and I'll enable that, and then you can check it out. Hold on one second, okay? Okay, now try it, Beck, and see what happens. There you go. And then also, if you want to try one more, try the exclamation data and see what happens on that. There you go. So you have those two commands that you can use as well whenever we're out. And I don't know if that does that just I mean, if I drop into a poor cell signal area, if it does it automatically, or if you have to actually take and do that. So that's it. So it's going to go through, it's going to take and do some stuff as well. And then I'm still going to work on the donation page. And I don't know if that's something that I have to work on with a exclamation point command or whatever the case may be. So I think that if people just log on and they see the homepage, they can take and do donations if they want to. And I believe it goes to stormviewlive.com. So anyway, that way it'll take them directly there. They can donate to whoever they want to or whatever. So yeah, you know, I mean, this is not a pressing thing by any means right now. So I'm gonna move my camera a little bit, and I know I'll have to go up. And let's do this. There we go. Boy, that's pretty right there. So, minus the bugs on my windscreen. But yeah, I think for the most part, I think a lot of that stuff just does it on its own. So we'll see what happens. I know I have one timed message that comes on, and it tells about, you know, donating to Stormview Live and whatever else, or whatever chaser that you're watching. And so we'll see how that works as well. But it runs, I think it runs every 10 minutes. So it might pop up by the time I get through doing this. And otherwise, then we'll just check it whenever we go out and chase. But so far, so good. And man, I am extremely happy with this antenna. And so hopefully things are in the works on this. And they may potentially become a sponsor for me. And so, and I'm working on some other things. I'm not going to announce it until I find out. But it is going to be sweet if it in fact happens. So yeah, I have not dropped a single frame, and I've been live for 9 minutes and 18 seconds. So this is awesome. Now the real test will be, of course, out in the bad data area. So anyway, so yeah, in my off time, I try to find people to help out and get sponsors and stuff like that. Right now, I have Oklahoma Customs. They did the wrap on my truck. I have Verizon as a sponsor as well. So far, they have done 3 commercials with me. So if you're interested in watching that first one that we ever did with them, you can type in Philip McGee Storm Chaser. And I think it goes directly. Let me see if I can get it right quick on my phone. I mean, if you guys want to watch it, it's completely up to you. So, and then well, they did one right after Hurricane Harvey and one right after Hurricane Irma. Yeah, if you just type in Philip McGee and Verizon, and then it'll say Storm Chasers Network Connection as his lifeline. They did a little write-up about the whole thing, and then you can scroll down, and there's actually a YouTube video that you can watch, and that's where they flew the camera crew out and did their little Verizon thing with me and whatever. So, but I'm grateful that they did it. And I'm grateful that they're my sponsor. I wish they would do something with the data, but they didn't. But anyways, it's nice to be able to say that they're my sponsor. And so if you do watch it, that is before I actually became a part of SVO. I wished I would have been a part of SVO whenever we did this. So I don't know if you've seen my post later on, Rick, but that, believe it or not, was a controlled burn. The guy actually got very aggravated that the fire department was called out. He said that he wanted it to burn, and so the fire department just pulled out of there and said no problem. So anyways, here's that link if you guys want to watch it. It's complete, like I said, it's completely up to you. I'm gonna type it in here real fast, and I'm sorry I'm slow about it, but yeah. Yeah, it was a controlled burn. I asked because the police officer came up there, and he said the same thing. He was like, man, I can't believe that anybody would be burning today as dry as it is. And, you know, I mean, I piggybacked on that because it is very dry here, and it doesn't look like that there is going to be any relief, period. So, anyway, so, like I said, I went back and I drove through town, and I went and I talked to the fire department, and I said, hey, man, you know, was it a controlled burn or was it a good call? And they said, well, either way, it was a good call. And, you know, had it not been, and nobody would have ever noticed that there was a house down inside of there that could have burned up. And there was a couple of oil wells that were back inside of there that you couldn't see with active tank batteries. Probably half or at least, you know, had some oil in them. So either way, I mean, I don't feel bad about making the 911 call to call in, but still. So like I said, the guy got, yeah, it didn't look too controlled to me either. And it's kind of weird. Normally they require that you have some form of way to put it out in case it did get out of control. The guy literally drove his tractor down there with no implement attached to the back of it at all, and parked, got out, or maybe even just sat there. I don't know. I couldn't tell. It was far enough away, but regardless, I don't know that it was too responsible on his part. So yeah, you know, and the thing that is if they just left it there and everybody goes to sleep, but the wind picks up, and then it's a completely different story, and the fire department gets another call back out there, but this time it's a lot worse. So, you know, late at night, whatever, and can't get in there. They were having issues in the daytime, even getting through with fences. And so, I mean, I know they have cutters and stuff like that they can cut the fence with, but still. So, yep, I agree with you, buddy. I totally agree with you 100%. So it's a wild thing, especially like I said, since it's so dry. Basically kind of sitting in the same field right here. We've got these little pop things, and at one point in time they planted rye in this field, but then nobody's farmed it for a couple of years now. And so, I mean, if you stuck a match to this thing right now, it would go up like gasoline. So, anyway, but, you know, right now we're borderline extreme drought conditions here in this area. Definitely extreme drought conditions down in the southeastern part of the state, and the western part out around the panhandle is the same way. So, I would be far-fetched. That guy didn't call in at all. He just lit the fire and I guess stayed out there for a little bit. So, anyway, I guess I can't complain too much. So, fire department did show up, and, you know, I don't know. So, hopefully we'll get some type of moisture in here before very long. I seen Nathan's post today, and, you know, he was saying he's needing CA, Chasers Anonymous, because there's nothing going on. I looked to my north right now, and there's high-level clouds, very high-level clouds, you know, but that's about it. No moisture whatsoever. So, looking at the models, but you can't really go by that, especially in the wintertime, because winter weather's hard to predict in the first place. So, shows a couple of little cold pushes that come down, but I don't think that there's a whole lot of moisture associated with it at all. So, it may be January or February before we ever see any kind of relief, but by that time, hopefully, if everything works out the way I hope that it does, southeastern part of the United States, down around Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama area and stuff like that, their severe weather patterns will start picking up, precursor to, April, May, and June for us. So I'm gonna try to make it down there and chase as much as possible. So definitely a good thing that they did show up. So, and there's been some complaints as far as the 911 response, because where we're at, where it's all volunteer, Crescent was volunteer, Twin Lakes over here by the Cimarron River is volunteer. You have Cashin, which is volunteer fire department. The only manned fire station is Guthrie and Deer Creek and Kingfisher. So, and then of course you get into Oklahoma City and all that stuff is manned there as well. But it takes a while for people to show up out here. So you get these big range fires and stuff like that. Yeah, Southeast is getting snow. Atlanta got 10 plus inches, and I was talking to Paul the other night on Messenger, and yeah, better safe than sorry. That's right, Beck. So anyway, talking to Paul the other night, and we were talking about, Atlanta and that area got all the snow, and down in TWC country and stuff like that, and then you've got lake effect snow up in Buffalo, and now you've got it over there by Erie where David's at and stuff. So, it's good. But that's kind of a normality for that area nowadays, but still, that's incredible. 18 to 24 inches. And like I was saying, if some of you guys were on there and seen, but I did a job over in Willoughby, Ohio, and this has been several years ago, but it didn't really register to me at the time. But the stop signs were like 10 feet in the air, and I was like, man, what in the world did they got them so high for? And then I remembered, they get all that lake effect snow and stuff like that. So. Yeah, absolutely. They sound the tornado sirens if it's a house fire in the town of Crescent. And so the other day, whenever we were all on, we were watching that house burn down. That was the storage area for the school. Yeah, the tornado sirens went off to get all the volunteer firemen called up, and then of course they make their phone calls as well. But they have the phone app as well that notifies them too. Same with the guys out here at Twin Lakes, but still, it takes a while for them to get there. So, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep you guys on here for just a little bit longer. I'm going to take and move my camera back out. Go back into wide angle here, and I am going to drive down toward my house and see what kind of connectivity we get down there, because that is even worse because it's down in a low spot. And so we'll keep it active until we get back to the house, and then If we're lucky, we might get to see some white-tailed deer up here. There were about 15 of them standing out in the wheat field yesterday as I was driving home about this time. I'll tell you what, this is awesome. I wished I would have known more about this type of antenna before I actually put that other one on. Because from what I'm seeing right now, everything looks great. So yeah, Rick, yeah, they're out again. I don't know that I can take it. No, I can't take and get over there, pull over and see them, because there they are. Golly, there's 6 of them out there in the field. All right, so I'm gonna try and turn around here real fast and see maybe if we can't get a picture of them before it gets too dark. So let me go up here and turn around, and then I'll get right back to you. Looks like we might have lost data a little bit, but I think we'll have it when we get back there to where the deer were. So golly, that dude is like going like crazy. Let's see if we can get up here and see these little kids. Hopefully we can. There she is, standing right there looking right at us. Oh, she just turned and ran. She's not going too far. There's a bunch of them over there. I'm going to take and see if I can't turn my bright light on. Maybe get them to hold up. And let's zoom in a little bit. There they are. I don't know if you can see them. Look right behind that fence post, and you'll see their eyes. There she's looking away. Now they're looking right at us. They're actually walking back toward the truck because they don't know what it is. You can see their eyes glowing. Yeah, that's funny. I have my LED light on top of my truck, and boy, I tell you what, it brightens everything up. But there you go. There's actually more than that. They're all standing still, like, I mean, they're like not moving at all. They are masters of their element, that's for sure. Survivalist. So yep, and they can just stand there for hours. Best hearing, best nose. Look, she's coming back up. She's like, what is that thing? It's got bright lights on it, I know that. Alright, Becky, so there's the automatic on it. That popped up automatically. Yeah, she's definitely checking me out. If I move, I mean, they're gonna bolt off and go. My wife's calling me right now, so give me 1 second, guys. Hello. Hey, I'm up here checking that antenna out real fast. I'll be back home in a second. Okay, I'll be there in just a second. Love you. So yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'm back. My wife just messaged me and told me the dinner is done, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop off of here, guys. So anyways, hope y'all enjoy it, and I'll turn my camera here a little bit and try to creep around this edge and see if we can't catch those other little girls standing there as well before I head to the house. I'll leave the light on so it'll kind of keep them a little bit leery. Well, no, I won't, because there's cars coming. All right, so. Yep, they're all back in the woods now, so you can't see them, guys. But anyways, okay. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Yes, I see that. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Y'all have a blessed night. We'll see you later.